You had an account with litigation practice group doing debt validation, and then that account may have been transferred to entities such as Phoenix Law Group or Oakstone or something like that. But now you get an email such as the one below that you're now represented by Morning Law Group. What's happening? What is Morning Law Group? And what's going on? The purpose of this video is to kind of explain what Morning Law Group may do and 3 crucial questions to ask Morning Law Group. Let's get started. Welcome to the Ascend Finance YouTube channel, where we cover such topics as debt validation, Morning Law Group, companies like that, to help you understand your options to get out of debt cheaper, easier, and faster. My name is Ben. I'm one of the co-founders here at Ascend. Now, what we're going to cover in this video is for informational purposes and shouldn't be, construed as legal or financial advice. It's just for information. And with that being said, this is what we're going to cover in this video. First, what is Morning Law Group? Second, 3 crucial questions that you can ask Morning Law Group. And third, should you opt in or opt out of Morning Law Group? And one of the most important things is that when you get that communication from Morning Law Group, that if you don't sign the retainer agreement, you automatically opt into Morning Law Group. So in order to opt out, you have to take actions to opt out of Morning Law Group. If you like this video, we always appreciate a like. And if you want to hear more information about how to help you get out of debt, eat cheaper, easier, and faster, please join our community by subscribing, as we're constantly making new content. With that being said, let's get started. So what exactly is Morning Law Group? One of the first questions that I had when I saw the litigation practice group sale to Morning Law Group was, I've never heard of this company. How long has Morning Law Group been around? And so from there, I started digging in. So when this happens, I like to find the website and then put it through Wayback Machine. Now, Wayback Machine provides screenshots of what companies look like in the past. And if you look up tryascend.com and Wayback Machine, you can see many different updates to our sites in the last 5 years, right? Tons of sites. So this gives me a little bit of a sense of how long has their site probably been around. And what was surprising to me about Morning Law Group was that the first website scrape was just in February 2023, which I thought was super interesting, because how on earth would a new company be able to purchase litigation practice group for $84,500,000? Now, that made me think maybe the firm just didn't have a website before February 23rd, 2023. So I searched California business filings and found that, yeah, it's a little bit older, but not much older. Their kind of business filing was on August 17th, 2022. This is still a question in my mind, but a firm that was started in August 2022 is able to purchase a law firm for $84,500,000. Where's that money coming from? This is still confusing to me, but what's even more confusing is let's look at the website that was just scraped in July 2023. So firstly, under the types of debt section in Morning Law Group's website, they had bankruptcy as a type of debt that they can help with. And in the description, it says that bankruptcy is one of the best bankruptcy alternatives. That makes no sense to me, as bankruptcy is not a type of debt and bankruptcy is not an alternative to bankruptcy. Bankruptcy is bankruptcy, right? And second, another thing that was confusing to me about the website was that, you go down to the address and it's a virtual address. And I know that a lot of firms are now doing mainly virtual addresses, but below the virtual address, it shows the times that the company's available to speak with you. The website is in California, but their times available are in Eastern time zone. So I'm thinking, when you design a website, why would you put different times? Anyways, very interesting, made little sense to me, but maybe it just makes little sense to me because yeah. So let's go into the questions of what can you ask Morning Law Group. Now, here are 3 questions that I want you to consider asking. First, what services are you actually going to provide me? We have another video that we just shot that basically talks about services that debt validation companies offer. Definitely encourage you to watch it because it's very eye-opening to me. But after they list their services they offer, so you talk to this person at Morning Law Group and they say, these are the services I'm gonna offer you. You may want to try to put a value on each one of these services. And in the video I presented earlier, going to help you do that. So let's say if they say, we are going to validate your debt, you can then ask, how much would it cost to send the free debt validation letters yourself? Right? Or if they say they're going to fight to your creditors on your behalf, you may ask what that actually means. If it's just that they're going to send debt validation letters, then what are they actually doing? Now, if they say we're going to stop creditor calls, you're not going to get any calls from debt collection agencies. How is that any different than you telling your debt collectors to stop calling you per the FDCPA Act? So that's probably the first question to ask. What are you actually going to do for me? Second question to ask, does the money I provide you go into a special purpose escrow account to settle my accounts? Now, debt relief, also known as debt settlement, settlement is often more expensive than debt validation because your money goes into a special purpose escrow account that can be used to settle and pay debt collectors and debt collection lawsuits. Debt relief is more expensive, but it's often not that much more expensive than debt validation. So if this debt validations company is not putting any money aside that can help you pay for a settlement when a debt collector sues you, it's something to think about. Like, what is it that I'm paying for, right? The third thing is, a question that you can ask is, what happens if I get sued for valid debt? Now, let's say Monday Law Group sends a debt validation letter for your account and the debt comes back as valid. Let's say that creditor sues you for the unpaid debt next, right? It's a valid debt, you're behind because you're not paying it, and they sue you for it. How will Monday Law Group help you solve this debt? And will they charge you fees for the attorney to represent you in court and also have you come up with funds for the debt settlement, right? One of the things that we saw with Litigation Practice Group was that people thought that when it comes to having to settle the debts, you were actually putting money aside that they would use the funds to settle the debt. So it was kind of eye-opening, right? When you get sued, maybe attorney represents you, maybe you have to pay for that attorney, and then you also have to pay for the settlement, right? You might be asking at that point, what are you actually paying for, right? So that's a good question, I think, to ask. Finally, the question may be, should you opt out of Morning Law Group? Now, staying with Morning Law Group is ultimately your decision, and you know your situation probably best. One thing I'll note is that you have to opt out to opt out, which means that if you do not physically opt out, you will be opted in. So if you're like, I'm not going to sign this agreement, well, in the letter that you might have seen, it might say that you will automatically get opted in if you do not opt out. So apparently you can you can opt out of receiving Morning Law Group's help by sending them an email or calling them at the number on your email. Also, if you need any other help with getting out of debt cheaper, easier, faster, if you want to know your options after you've got out of debt, please feel free to take our free debt relief calculator. I included in the description below, or give us a call or text at 833-272-3631. Hopefully this video has been helpful and can answer some of your questions to understand what the fees are going towards while providing information on how to opt in or out of the Monday Law Group program. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day.